They confessed their love for you in public. And you won't believe what they said, my beloved soul. There is a moment in every person's life when destiny moves in silence, preparing a scene that seems ordinary from the outside but holds the power to change everything within you. And today, I must tell you, such a moment has finally arrived for you. A moment you didn't plan, a moment you didn't expect, a moment that was written for you long before you ever walked this earth. Because someone, yes, someone you know, someone whose energy has crossed your path more than once, someone who carries a quiet admiration for you that they never had the courage to reveal, has finally done the unthinkable. They confessed their love for you. Not in a whisper. Not in a private message. Not in the shadows. But in public, where eyes could see, ears could hear, and hearts could witness the truth they can no longer hide. My beloved soul, listen to me with the fullness of your heart, because what they said about you, what they admitted, what they revealed in front of others, was not just an ordinary love confession. It was a declaration. A surrender. A truth that had been waiting inside them for far too long. And the universe is guiding me to tell you why this happened, why now, why publicly, and what their words truly meant. Because this confession was not impulsive. This confession was not accidental. This confession was destiny finally speaking through a human heart that could no longer stay silent. My beloved soul, let me take you into the moment itself. Imagine the air around them trembling with courage they didn't even know they had. They had rehearsed these words so many times in their mind that it felt like carrying a secret too heavy for their chest. They wanted to tell you in private. They wanted to message you. They wanted to whisper it softly when no one was around. But something inside them kept stopping them. Fear. Uncertainty. The belief that maybe you deserved someone better. The worry that maybe you would not feel the same. The thought that maybe their love was too much, too deep, too intense, too overwhelming. But destiny doesn't wait for perfect timing. Destiny creates its own timing. And that day, something shifted inside them. A sudden spark, a sudden push, a sudden realization that if they didn't speak now, they might lose their only chance. It happened in a place where people were gathered. Not a huge crowd, but enough to make their voice tremble. Enough to make their hands shake, enough to make their heartbeat race as if time itself had stopped to watch. Someone mentioned your name. Someone brought you up in conversation. Someone asked a question about you. And it was in that moment, without planning, without thinking, without fear, that your person finally spoke their truth. They said your name with a softness that caught everyone's attention. Then they breathed deeply, and words came out that surprised even them. I love them. I really do. I love them more than I've ever loved anyone. These words did not fall out casually. They carried emotion. They carried truth. They carried a sincerity that made every person around them pause for a moment. Because love like this cannot be hidden forever. My beloved soul, do you know what shocked everyone the most? It wasn't that they loved you. Many had already sensed something. People could see the way their eyes softened when your name came up. They noticed the way their face changed when someone mentioned you. There was a kind of glow, a shift, a spark. Others had already guessed that something deep was happening in their heart. What shocked everyone was what they said after that. They didn't just confess love. They didn't just admit feelings. They revealed something that even the people closest to them never expected. They said, "You don't understand, they are the person I pray for. They are the person who makes me want to become better. They are the reason I feel hope again." These words touched the people around them. Silence spread like a wave. Some smiled softly. Some were surprised. Some were speechless. Because anyone can confess love, but not everyone speaks with such depth, not everyone speaks with such truth. Not everyone speaks as if their soul has recognized its other half. This was not a random attraction. This was not a temporary feeling. This was love born from the soul. A love that grew quietly. A love that survived their fears. A love that refused to die no matter how much they tried to hide it. My beloved soul, the universe is revealing something important to you right now. This confession was guided. This confession was aligned. This confession was written into your story long before you knew this person even existed. But you must understand something deeper. The person who confessed their love for you has been holding these emotions inside for a very long time. They didn't fall in love overnight. Their love for you grew slowly, through admiration, through memories, through moments they never forgot. Little pieces of you became light inside their life. Maybe it was your smile. Maybe it was the way you speak. Maybe it was your kindness. Maybe it was the strength you showed during your hardest days. Maybe it was simply the energy you carry, an energy that their soul recognized before their mind could understand. But they never thought they would reveal it like this, in front of others. My beloved soul, destiny is telling you something powerful. Their confession was not a mistake. It was not a weakness. It was not an accident. It was courage awakened by love. Sometimes the universe pushes people into moments where truth is the only option. Sometimes the heart can no longer wait. Sometimes emotions reach a point where the soul speaks louder than fear. And that is exactly what happened. But what they said next is the part you won't believe. Because after confessing their love, after admitting that you're the person they pray for, they revealed something even more surprising. I know they may not feel the same right now. I know maybe I'm not ready yet. But I would rather speak my truth than spend the rest of my life regretting the words I never said. My beloved soul, do you understand the depth of this? They didn't confess to pressure you. They didn't confess to claim you. They didn't confess to force you into anything. They confessed because their heart could not hold the truth anymore, because their soul recognized you, because their spirit felt drawn to you in ways they couldn't explain. They confessed because you matter to them. You inspire them. You move them. You help them believe in love again. You are not just another person to them. You are the person their heart waits for. You are the person their soul calls toward. You are the person whose presence brings them peace. And today, destiny is asking you to breathe deeply and absorb this. Someone loves you more deeply than you think. Someone admires you in ways you never imagined. Someone has spoken your name with love even when you didn't hear it. Someone has prayed for your happiness even before confessing their own feelings. Someone is ready for you in ways they never were for anyone before. My beloved soul, the universe is preparing something meaningful for you. This confession is only the first chapter. There is more to unfold. More truth to be revealed. More love to be expressed. More signs that will appear soon. Because when love is real, destiny always makes its way. This confession didn't just change their life. It changed yours too, even if you don't see it yet. And this is only the beginning. In the next part, I will tell you what happened after the confession, how people reacted, how they felt afterward, and the message destiny is trying to deliver to you right now. My beloved soul. When the words left their lips, when the confession echoed in that space, something shifted in the atmosphere around them, something subtle yet powerful. It was as if time itself paused, as if every heart in the room absorbed the weight of what was spoken, that a truth that had been buried for so long was finally free. But here is what destiny wants you to understand: the confession was not the end. It was the beginning of a chain reaction. A silent awakening. A wave of emotions that moved through everyone present, and especially through the one who confessed. My beloved soul, let me take you deeper into that moment. After they confessed, after the words, "I love them," spilled into the air with a trembling honesty, the room around them did not erupt into shock or noise. Instead, there was a strange, beautiful silence. A silence filled with emotion. A silence that felt like the universe was quietly nodding, acknowledging a truth that had finally been spoken aloud. The people standing there looked at them differently. Some with surprise. Some with quiet admiration. Some with gentle smiles. Some with a softness in their eyes, as if they understood the courage it took to speak such words so openly. Because confessing love is not easy. And saying it in public requires the kind of bravery that only true feelings can awaken. But something else happened too, something they didn't expect. People began to speak. Not loudly. Not dramatically. But softly, with authenticity. One person placed a hand on their shoulder and said, "I always felt there was something special when you talked about them." Another person whispered, "This kind of honesty, it's rare. You must really care." Someone else smiled and said, "If your heart feels this deeply, maybe it's meant to be." None of these reactions were planned. None of them were forced. They flowed naturally, as if the universe itself had guided each person to speak gently, respectfully, compassionately. But even with all this support, your person wasn't thinking about the crowd, they were thinking about you. Your face flashed in their mind. Your voice echoed in their heart. Your presence filled their soul. And for the first time in a long time, they felt both free and vulnerable, free because they finally spoke their truth. Vulnerable because they didn't know how you would respond. My beloved soul, destiny wants you to know something important. This confession did not come from impulsive emotion. It came from a place of clarity. A place of inner knowing. A place where the soul whispers the truth the heart can no longer hide. Because when someone loves you with such sincerity, the confession becomes more than words. It becomes a release. A surrender. A moment where they stop fighting the way they feel and simply let their heart speak. But what happened next is the part destiny needs you to hear. Once the people around them reacted, once the initial silence settled, your person's emotions began to overflow inside them. Not with regret. Not with fear. But with a deep breath of relief. Relief because they had carried this truth inside them for so long. Relief because the weight of unsaid love was finally gone. Relief because for the first time, they felt honest with themselves. But even in that relief, a quiet question filled their heart: how will you respond? This question echoed inside them more loudly than any reaction from the crowd. Because in the end, your answer, your feelings, your presence, that is what matters most to them. And in that moment of vulnerability, they did something beautiful. Something soft. Something that reveals how deeply they care about you. They stepped away from the crowd for a moment. To breathe. To think. To feel. They found a quiet corner, where no one could see the tremble in their hands or hear the depth of their emotions. They closed their eyes. They held their chest. And they whispered to themselves, I hope they understand. I hope they don't feel pressured. I hope they know I said it because it's real, not because I expect anything in return. My beloved soul, destiny is emphasizing this part to you. They did not confess to force you. They did not confess to claim you. They did not confess to put responsibility on your shoulders. They confessed because love that stays unspoken eventually becomes painful. Love hidden becomes heavy. Love unexpressed becomes a burden. And your presence, your energy, your light, has been sitting in their heart for longer than you think. But what destiny wants you to understand even deeper is this. After the confession, after stepping away to breathe, they felt something unusual, not fear, not embarrassment, not regret, but a strange calmness. A gentle peace. A feeling that what happened was meant to happen. Because when the heart speaks truth, peace follows. And that peace began to ripple through their thoughts. They realized something. No matter how you respond, no matter what you feel right now, they needed to speak the truth to honor their own heart. It wasn't about the outcome. It wasn't about your reaction. It wasn't about getting a yes or no from you. It was about finally freeing their soul from silence. But the moment they felt calm, another wave of emotion came over them, softness. The softness that only love can bring. Because they began to think about you again. Not in a hopeful way. Not in an expectant way. But in a grateful way. They whispered softly. I'm grateful they exist. Even if they never choose me. I'm grateful. My beloved soul, do you see the depth of this? This is not shallow love. This is not temporary emotion. This is not infatuation. This is a soul-level connection. A connection that admires you, respects you, cherishes you. This is love that doesn't demand. This is love that doesn't push. This is love that doesn't expect. This is love that simply honors your existence. But here is the part the universe wants you to hear next. Even though they accepted whatever outcome may come, their hearts still held a quiet hope. A hope that maybe, just maybe, you feel something too. A hope that maybe, their confession will not scare you, but soften you. A hope that maybe, destiny is aligning both your hearts towards something deeper. But what happened after this moment of reflection, is something even more powerful. They walked back to the crowd, not with fear, but with a different kind of strength. A strength that came from truth. A strength that came from honesty. A strength that came from letting go of everything they hid for so long. And the people around them felt that shift. The way they carried themselves. The softness in their eyes. The calmness in their breath. One person even said quietly, "You look lighter." And they smiled, because it was true. Love spoken aloud becomes freedom. My beloved soul, the universe is revealing this message clearly. Their confession was guided. Their courage was guided. Their timing was guided. Their words were guided. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't random. This wasn't coincidence. This was destiny creating a moment that needed to happen. A moment that would open a new chapter in your life. A moment that would unlock clarity in their heart. A moment that would reveal a truth you were meant to know. Because the universe wants you to understand something, you are loved. You are admired. You are seen. You are valued. You are appreciated in ways you may not even realize. And the person who confessed their love didn't just do it to express themselves. They did it because your presence has changed them. Your energy has healed them. Your light has guided them. They didn't fall in love with you casually. They fell in love with the way you make the world softer. The way you speak. The way you feel. The way you show strength even when you're hurting. The way you carry your soul through this life. And destiny is whispering something to you now. This confession is a sign. A sign that love is entering your life. A sign that your heart is being aligned to someone sincere. A sign that the universe is preparing you for a connection that is genuine and respectful. A sign that you are ready for a love that is real, pure, honest. Because real love does not start in perfect moments. It starts in brave ones. And their bravery has opened a door. What happens next depends on your heart, your intuition, your readiness. My beloved soul. What happened that day was not just a confession. It was not just a moment of courage. It was not just a surprise in front of a group of people. It was the beginning of a shift, a turning point written long before you or this person even knew each other. Because when truth rises from the heart, destiny begins to reveal its next steps. And after they confessed publicly, after the emotions settled, after the whispers faded, something bigger began unfolding around you. Something invisible but powerful. Something that the universe had been preparing in silence. My beloved soul, destiny wants you to understand what happened in the spaces you could not see. After the confession, as your person walked back into their daily life, they carried a new kind of clarity deep inside. A clarity that wasn't loud or dramatic, but gentle and calm. The kind of clarity that comes when the heart finally speaks without fear. It was as if a weight had lifted. As if the sky inside them had cleared. As if a long-closed door had finally opened. They didn't run from what happened. They didn't hide. They didn't regret. Instead, they embraced it. Because they knew, deep down, that this moment was meant to happen. And the people who witnessed the confession? Their reactions didn't fade immediately. Some kept thinking about it. Some were touched by its sincerity. Some even felt inspired by the courage your person showed. But the most important reactions were the silent ones, the thoughts that lingered in people's hearts long after the moment ended. Some thought, love like this is rare. Others thought, they truly see something special in them. But there was one reaction destiny wants you to know about, one person in that group who felt something deeper. Someone who knew you or had seen you before. Someone who quietly said, they deserve this kind of love. And with those words, the energy shifted. My beloved soul, the universe works through people more often than you realize. It places certain individuals in the right place at the right time, to witness, to understand, to carry a message back to the person destiny is calling toward. And that person, the one who knows you, will eventually reach out with something unexpected. A message. A conversation. A gentle hint. Something that will make you aware that a confession took place, even if you didn't hear it with your own ears. Destiny never hides truth meant for your growth. But before this reaches you, the universe wants to prepare your heart, because something profound is happening inside your person. Let me reveal their inner world to you, the thoughts that filled them after the confession, the emotions that flowed through them like waves. That night, they couldn't sleep easily. Not because they were worried, but because their mind kept returning to one person, you. They kept replaying the confession in their head. The trembling of their voice. The softness of the silence that followed. The hope that bloomed inside them despite their fear. They kept imagining how you would react. Would you be surprised? Would you be touched? Would you be confused? Would your heart soften, or would it close? They wondered these things not with anxiety but with sincerity. Because your feelings matter to them more than their own pride. But here is the part destiny wants you to hear clearly. Even though they were unsure of your reaction, they didn't wish to erase what happened. They didn't wish to take it back. They didn't wish to hide from the truth. Instead, something inside them whispered, "At least my heart is free." And with that freedom came a realization so deep that even they didn't expect it. They realized that their love for you was never about possession. Never about control. Never about expectation. It was about admiration. Respect. Gratitude. Hope. And the healing they felt in your presence. Because you are not just someone they like. You are someone who changed the direction of their heart. My beloved soul, your person has loved you in silence for longer than you think. They admired you quietly, respectfully, from a place of deep feeling. They carried your name inside themselves like a gentle prayer. You were not an obsession, you were an inspiration. And now that the truth is out, their soul feels lighter. But here is where the universe shifts its attention, toward you. Because while they gained clarity from confessing, you are about to gain clarity from what happens next. Destiny is opening a doorway before you. A doorway of realization. A doorway of unexpected truth. A doorway that will reveal how much your heart is ready to receive. Because whether you deny it or not, their confession will stir something inside you. Maybe curiosity. Maybe confusion. Maybe warmth. Maybe a sudden awareness of your own feelings. Maybe a question you never allowed yourself to ask before: what if destiny is trying to bring us together? And my beloved soul, that question will become louder in the days ahead. Because the confession wasn't meant to pressure you, it was meant to awaken you. To awaken your awareness of the connection. To awaken your heart to the possibility of love. To awaken the part of you that thought no one truly felt this deeply for you. To awaken the belief that you too deserve a love that is honest and brave. But the universe is not finished. There is another layer unfolding. After confessing, your person felt a pull inside their heart, a pull guiding them to become better. Stronger. More stable. More focused. More worthy. And the reason behind this shift is you. You inspire them to grow. You inspire them to heal. You inspire them to dream. You inspire them to change their life for the better. And because of that, they are now stepping into a new version of themselves, one with more confidence, more clarity, more emotional maturity. They are not trying to impress you. They are not trying to prove anything. They are becoming better because your presence awakens something sacred inside them. This is how destiny works. When the right person enters your life, even quietly, they guide you toward your higher self without forcing anything. And now, as destiny aligns the next steps, something unexpected is preparing to happen. A message. A sign. A conversation. A moment. A hint from the universe that everything is moving forward. Someone may tell you, you won't believe what happened today, or you might overhear something. Or you may pick up an energy shift. Or you might feel their presence in ways you haven't before. Because the confession created a ripple that is moving directly toward you. But this ripple is not meant to scare you. It is meant to guide you. Destiny wants to show you the sincerity behind their feelings. Destiny wants to reveal the purity of their intentions. Destiny wants you to know that this person is not here to play with your heart. They are not here to cause chaos. They are not here to take advantage of your emotions. They are here because their soul recognizes you. And soon, you will recognize something too. A shift in your own heart. A softness you didn't expect. A curiosity you can't ignore. A feeling that something is pulling you toward them, gently, not forcefully. Because when love is real, it doesn't push. It invites. It calls. It whispers instead of demands. It guides instead of pressures. And soon, you will feel this guidance. But before you step into the next part of this journey, the universe wants you to know one last truth. Their confession was not the climax of the story. It was the opening scene. The real story begins now, in the way destiny prepares your heart, in the way your intuition starts speaking, in the way the universe aligns signs around you, in the way this person steps into a stronger, more stable version of themselves, in the way your paths slowly start moving toward each other.